Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back from the YouTube video, and this time we're going to be playing the Double Elixir Global Tournament. I'm 10-1 right now, and believe it or not, my one loss was because I was playing on the bus on the way home from school, and I was using data, and it's kind of lagging a bit, but I don't really mind too much, because I haven't even played yet on my main account for the Global Tournament. I still have my main account and another mini account, so I'm not really too worried, but that was kind of dumb of me. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, what I'm using is Electro Giant. So in my opinion, this is a really strong deck for the Double Elixir Global Tournament because it's super good against Golem and Lava Hound, which I feel like a lot of people are going to be playing in this Double Elixir Global Tournament because those decks are also pretty solid in Double Elixir. And it's just like, of all the heavy decks, it's the one that has matchup versus some of the other heavy decks, which is why I think it is just overall a pretty safe pick to use in this Double Elixir Global Tournament. Your defense is strong. Obviously, you got the Goblin Cage, Ice Wizard, NATO, Prince 2. If you don't want to use Prince, you can use Dark Prince. It's really up to you. But honestly, I'd really advise using Prince, especially considering it's Double Elixir. Single Elixir, you definitely could argue Dark Prince might be better to keep your cycle cleaner, but with it being Double Elixir, I definitely would go with the Prince variant in my opinion because you have extra DPS. But before we get in the first game, if you guys want to support me, you can use my credit code BOSS in any Supercell game. Supports me, the channel, and I really do appreciate all you guys use my code. It means a lot. So we're going to go ahead and go to 15 wins. That's our goal of this video, getting all the rewards. And then I might do another video on this, Double Elixir Global Tournament. Maybe if you guys want me to try using like a cycle deck or something like that. That's always fun to try to do in a Double or Triple Elixir Global Tournament. I think cycle decks, even though they're cycle, they're actually still pretty solid sometimes in Double and Triple Elixir Global Tournaments. You just have to, well, just play it well, but it's still pretty solid. So it's always fun to do things like, say, like minor wall breakers or something like that in these types of tournaments, because you just cycle so quickly. So Giant Skeleton is not something you want to play an Electro Giant into, which is the reason why I went for an Electro Giant in the opposite lane as soon as he went for that Giant Skeleton. So aggressive Balloon on his end, we're just going to go ahead and tornado that to the King Tower. Hopefully the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb doesn't hit our King, because if it does, it actually would have... he would have gotten pretty close to 3-crowning us. So we have to... Yeah, that would have been a little scary, but he didn't, so we're perfectly fine. We're actually going to Lightning here to finish off the tower. And yeah, we're just in an amazing spot. Right after he cycled that Giant Skeleton, I knew it was a smart play to pressure with the Electro Giant. But yeah, this is why Electro Giant, I think, is just so strong in this game mode, because in Single Elixir there's so many matchups where Electro Giant struggles and the goal is to survive until Double Elixir. But here you go, like, it's already Double Elixir, so you're not really going to be getting into awkward cycles in most matchups, and it's just overall like a much safer deck when it's always Double Elixir. So we're gonna go for Lightning here. This Wizard's pretty annoying. It would kill the baby dragon. And yeah, kind of a late clone on his end, so for sure looking like a win at this point. We might even be able to get another crown, but our towers are both very healthy, and he's just having a really hard time to break through. So we're going to go for a tornado like this kind of late, and then we're going to go for a cage. Might as well defend. Like, maybe I should have just tornadoed the balloon to the King Tower to save some elixir, but I don't know. I don't really want to give him a chance. You know, we might as well just save our towers if we can. I'm going to go ahead and pressure here, knowing that his mini P.E.K.K.A is out of rotation, which obviously is probably the best answer that he has to our Electro Giant. We can go for a Lightning like this on top of his... Yeah, should be tower down, so that is definitely going to be a good game. He might have even... He probably should give up at this point, because I don't really think there's any way he can come back. Yeah, so easy win there. Nice 3-crown. We kind of destroyed him from the start. I feel like anytime your opponent doesn't even have a building, it's almost always a pretty solid matchup for Electro Giant, with the exception of if maybe they're using like RG Giant Skeleton with Fisherman and Zappies. That could definitely be pretty annoying, but most of the time, if they don't have a building, they're going to have a really difficult time stopping your Electro Giant, especially in Double Elixir when you can build up massive pushes. So he's going to go for a Goblin Barrel. I think we just go Electro Giant in the back here. So Logbait, very interesting, because I don't really think, oh, what? Goblin Barrel Ram Rider? Because I was going to say, I don't really think Logbait's a very good Double Elixir deck. I feel like it's more of like Single Elixir. So Ramrider definitely is going to connect. I think that's fine because we're actually going to... Let's tornado this here because we're going to have a nice push in both lanes. Like, we have the Prince in one lane, Electro Giant, and they both are going to, like, take tower if he doesn't do anything. Prince, he decides to defend, but Electro Giant, he has nothing for that. So, already going to be tower down, and yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just kind of making this look easy, but honestly, I really think, guys, like, in so many matchups, there's really no way your opponent can stop the Electro Giant. Like, if you look at his deck, so far, he hasn't revealed a single high DPS card, and it's so good against stuff like Mega Knight, and just, I don't know, like, it's just, it really is, there really isn't much your opponent can do in some situations against your Electro Giant. It's just, I don't know, it's just super annoying for them. So that was actually a pretty good play on his end because I didn't have my Barbaro on cycle, so he's going to get a little bit of chip damage, but not really anything too much to be concerned about. So, yeah, kind of like the last game, I think we pretty much already won. We just have to make sure we don't throw the game by, like, making a huge mistake or something like that. So once again, good push on his end, knowing we don't have our Barbaro in rotation, but he's not getting much damage out of that. He's just getting a little bit of chip here and there, but it's nothing really to be concerned about. So good Ramrod on his part. He's actually going to slow the Electro Giant, which means we're not going to get too much damage, but we're still going to get quite a lot, and we forced a lot of Elixir out of him as well. So we can actually get the King activation. I don't even think there's, like, really any point, but it's just to ensure that we have better defense. But even without it, we would be fine. We can just go Prince here, go for a Barbaro, and yeah, looking really solid. He does have 2 Firecrackers down, though, which is kind of annoying, but we managed to kill them. We could just, I guess, go for the 2 Crown. We might as well. I mean, I don't see why not. He's going to Mega Knight here, probably. Oh, or do that, which isn't really going to do much. So we could just go for the 3 Crown, just because it might end the game quicker, and even if he takes one of my towers, it doesn't really matter. Plus, crowns are important for tiebreakers, like if you have the same wins as someone else. I talk about this every single global tournament, but if you're really trying to, like, get the emote or get top 1,000, I really, yeah, recommend going for crowns, because, like, you can see right here, 15 crowns, and I have 27. Wow, 27, that's quite a lot. So you can see that's why I'm higher up in the ranking. It has nothing to do with losses. It actually completely has to do with crowns. So, like, 66 crowns here. This person has 66. This person has 67. So you can see it's just completely based off of crowns. So we're at 12 wins right now with only 1 loss. And as I said, the 1 loss was due to because I was playing on the bus and I was lagging anyway. So really thinking about it that way, we technically have no losses. But, well, we do technically have 1. But in my mind, it should be 0, but, you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to go for a lightning like this. Good value. Ooh, if he's using what I think he's using, this is actually a pretty annoying matchup. If he's using the, I think he has Barbarians, Giant Skeleton Clone. This deck isn't really used much anymore, but I think it's definitely a popular deck that some people like using in the double Elixir Global tournaments. So we're going to go for a Tornado here. Wow. That tornado was just beautiful. You know, that wasn't even my intention. I didn't think he was going to clone. The reason why I tornadoed was because I wanted to pull the Hunter in to the circle immediately, and so the Barbaro was able to reach it. But he cloned it, so that just made things even better for me. So thank you very much for cloning that and giving me free value, basically. So, wow. Do you guys notice a trend in these games? How every single game we're just taking their tower, like, immediately? Isn't that kind of funny? Yeah, that's why I knew this was going to be a good deck for the Double Elixir Global Tournament. Especially early on, because I'm telling you guys, Electro Giant is just one of those decks that, for whatever reason, people don't know how to defend very well. So the first, like, 20 games, I really do think it's, like, one of the very strongest decks to use in this. Not the best Lightning, but I was kind of full on Elixir, so I had to play it. We're gonna... Actually, I'm gonna do this because I think we need the Electro Giant to damage everything. Annoying. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna talk less this game, because when I talk I get distracted. And I probably was talking a little bit too much. Because I was saying earlier, it's a pretty bad matchup, so that's why I was nervous at first, but then I think when I took his tower early on, I got a little bit overconfident, because I didn't think he was looking like he was in a good situation, but that goes to show you shouldn't underestimate people, because you don't know. That's a good game. It's a very hard counter. That was 100% my fault, though, guys. I shouldn't have, like, underestimated him. Like, you could hear it in my voice. Like, I was pretty confident after what happened at the beginning. And since I'm not very far in this global tournament, I didn't think he was going to be, like, good enough to, like, come back. But I should have been focusing more. So, yeah, that's, like, a pretty good lesson. I think, like, sometimes, like, when I'm, like, recording videos or streaming, I often, well, you know, since I talk a lot, commentate, I probably am not, like, putting my full focus in the game sometimes, so that's unfortunate, because I really do think that was a game I could have won. I think, like, one thing I should have done differently is when I went for the Electro Giant on defense, I shouldn't have, I don't think I should have done that, because it didn't actually get too much value, but the reason why that matchup's pretty hard is because of the Cannon Cart, and also Barbarians, Hunter. He's got good answers to our Electro Giant. As well as the Giant Skeleton. It's definitely annoying, but the main issue is the Cannon Cart. That's what makes it hard. Okay, this now... Alright, I don't want to make the same mistake as last game, but this is our matchup. I was talking about how this has a really good matchup against Golem, but man, I'm a little pissed, honestly, guys. I am a little mad that one loss was to connection, and then the second loss was because I got a little bit too overconfident and threw the game. But again, this is just, you know, I had still my main account I didn't even play on yet, so I don't need to stress too much. It's just a little bit frustrating because, like, I hate, like, losing games that, like, I feel like I should have won and I lost because I just didn't, you know, I just wasn't fully, like, concentrated, you know? But that's unfortunate. I'm not gonna make that mistake again anytime soon, at least. So let's just destroy this guy quickly so I feel a little better. I want to destroy him, like, quickly. I want this game to be over already, to tell you guys the truth. Please end this game quickly. Like, I want another win, so I'm not as mad, you know? Please, please. Please. There we go. That was quick. Okay, let's go. We gotta win. Nice. Alright. Okay. So 13-2. I don't like having 2 losses this early on, but you know, we'll keep moving forward. We'll try to get to 15 without dropping another game. And then yeah, I'll probably do another video on this account, maybe trying to go to 25 wins with another deck. Like, I can let you guys I guess maybe choose one. I think minor wall breakers with Tesla and Hunter wouldn't be bad, because I think in double or triple elixir, if you use minor wall breakers, you need to have Hunter because there's so much Lava Hound. Ooh. Ooh. Well. What do you know? It's a mirror match, so this should be interesting. What we can actually do is go for a Goblin Cage like this. We're going to Lightning because the Cage is really the only good answer. Nice Tornado from our opponent. He's gonna... Yep, I knew he was gonna do that. He just ignored the whole... Oh, look at that Ice Wizard. Look at that. It was stuck. So his main problem was he missed the tornado. But even if he hit the tornado, you can't pull an Electro Giant to the King Tower. So look at that. We're going to bring the Electro Giant all the way to another continent. The fact that it has that sight range is absolutely crazy in my opinion. But I think if you couldn't do that, I think it could be broken. Because then decks that have buildings wouldn't counter it. The fact that you can pull it that much is why I feel like Electro Giant's in an okay spot where it's at. Like, it's weird. Electro Giant, I feel like there's so many people who have different opinions on it. Like, some people are like, think it needs a nerf. Some people think it's in a good spot. And then there's even some people who think it needs a buff. I definitely do not think it needs a buff. But at the same time, I don't think it needs a nerf. Like, buildings definitely keep it in check. Like, Goblin Cage and Bomb Tower especially really ensure that it's not, you know, broken or anything like that. So there we go. We get another win. So, and pretty close to being a mirror match. He had Cannon Cart instead of, I guess, Prince, I believe. But besides that, same deck. So here we go. Win here will put us at 15. So we'll see what he wants to do. I might just kick things off with a Prince in the back just to get things rolling. I mean, it's double Elixir, so it's not really that risky anyway. We're going to go for an Electro Giant in front because he just wasted 2 Elixir and also leaked, I think, an Elixir before he even played anything. So we're going to go ahead and Lightning this. P.E.K.K.A is actually pretty good against the Electro Giant, but the way you play it is pretty defensively and you can be, and you know, you'll be fine. So he's actually going to have Mirror. I don't really think Mirror is a good card at all because obviously they do get it a level higher, but it kind of really messes with your cycle. It obviously costs an Elixir more as well. So I just in general think it's overall just a pretty, it's just a risky card to have in your deck. And I feel like it's just gotten worse and worse as time's gone on. I feel like about a year ago, Mirror was actually somewhat viable. 2 years ago, you even saw it in the meta and like bait decks especially, but I feel like in like 2021, Mirror's just kind of sucked. I mean, I don't know what you guys think about that, but Mirror, in my opinion, has just sucked so much the last, like, just the last year, honestly. It's just been just pretty horrible, but honestly, I don't even know how you would buff the card. I don't even know if it's a card that's really healthy. If it's, like, really strong. I mean, I guess it's... I wouldn't mind the Mirror being meta, but I don't know how you would buff it. Probably, like, maybe a level higher. You know how it's already... If it's maxed, it's level 13 or whatever. Or 14, I mean, instead of 13. What if they just did it one more, so it was, like, level 15? Or would that make it too broken? I don't really know, but... I think if it were to get something like that, it would actually be pretty balanced, because your cycle would be... Because your cycle would still be weird, and it's an Elixir more, but I don't know what your guys' opinion is on that. So this is going to be a pretty long match, most likely, because P.E.K.K.A is very, very good against the Electro Giant, so we're forced to play pretty passively. We can't be, like, overly aggressive like we were in some of the other matches, unless he has his P.E.K.K.A out of rotation or something like that, or we're just up Elixir, but otherwise we have to be pretty patient, just because I just... If you're too aggressive, they could build a massive counter push with the P.E.K.K.A, so you have to be really careful. I mean, honestly, we're just cycling stuff in the back, so... I mean, really, it's just a stalemate between us at this point. But my hope is that we can maybe pull ahead off of, like, Lightnings or stuff like that, but we'll see. Like, Lightnings on his tower, I mean. If he gives us, like, any sort of value, that's kind of... what I'm hoping happens, but we'll see. Because at this point, we're just both... This is just kind of... Alright, well, I think we go again with an Electro Giant. I think I'm going to Lightning this time around on offense. because I feel like we're up Elixir, and I just want to try to pull ahead as much as I can in damage. And look at that. That was a good lightning. We were able to get a couple 100 more damage with the Electro Giant because of that, and of course tower damage itself, so not bad. Hopefully this, mirrored P.E.K.K.A doesn't give us any trouble, but I think at this point I'm feeling pretty good about our situation. We could even go for a lightning right here if he plays another valuable card in Radius, but it looks like he's not. He only plays bats, so I'm going to hold off on it. We're just going to have to go for a tornado, make sure that the Ram Rider doesn't connect, but actually that bowler does, so that was pretty annoying. I'm just going to lightning. Is it a little aggressive? Yeah, but I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can before the game ends to make sure that we certainly have the win sealed. Just lightning here. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, if that charged and connected, he actually would have had a chance of coming back. So I'm glad that didn't happen. 15 seconds to go. We'll just tornado everything back. He's getting desperate for damage, so he drops as he was at the bridge. So yeah, that's going to be a good game. Not too bad. I think even though P.E.K.K.A is really good against the Electro Giant, some things that really helped us there is, first of all, the Ram Rider. We have Electro Giant and Goblin Cage, Prince, which are all really good against it. And second of all, his arrows got no value. His arrows and bats literally got no value for him that match. So he basically had 2 dead cards in his deck that did nothing for him. So 15 wins. I feel like both of the losses could have been prevented, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But then again, I'm not really too worried at all because this account anyway, it's not even the tryhard account. My main account is the tryhard account, which I didn't even start on yet. And this account for YouTube videos anyway. So I might upload another video going to 20 wins or 25 wins. You guys can let me know the deck. I could next time, use like a cycle deck. Like minor wall breakers with Hunter is, instead of the bats, is a pretty good deck for double elixir because you have that Hunter for DPS against things like Golem, Lava Hound, and even like Electro Giant too. Hunter's helpful. So let me know if you guys would like to see that. And yeah, I'm excited, guys, for the upcoming update and balance changes. It's been such a long time. I don't know where my expectations are at. I don't want it shouldn't be too high. Because you don't want to be disappointed, but at the same time you don't want them to be low, because it's been such a long time since we've gotten like content in this game. So honestly, probably be in the middle is the best, so if it's not great, you're not extremely disappointed, but if it's not, but at the same time, if it's really good, you'll still be excited. So that's gonna be it for the video. Make sure to like if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and thanks again until next time, guys.